up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. What's up on a Sunday night here on Oakland Raiders football? I normally am always here Monday through Friday, every single weeknight, but I just thought I would jump in the middle of your Sunday night and say, what's up? Let's talk some silver and black. Don't really have a script, coming in without a net. I'm going to throw it off to you, the Raider Nation. Hit me with some questions. What do you got? A little Q&A with the Commish tonight. Whatever you guys got on your mind. What's up, Chad Raider? Whatever you got on your mind, hit it up. What's up, Josephine Rainier? Hit me with some questions. What do you got, Raider Nation? What's on your mind? What's on your mind on a Sunday night in the world of the silver and black? Obviously, we've got the rumors, big rumors that I talked about Friday of the possible cut of Seabass. Jay, Carr's going to be 100% this year. He's 100% now. He 100% would have played in the Super Bowl if we'd made it. Absolutely, he would have. He was doing leg workouts, full leg workouts in February. Carr is good to go. He's going to be better than 100%. I'm on record as saying, Jay, he will win the MVP this year. Better believe it. Derek Carr, MVP of the league this season. Without a doubt. Totally believe he's going to bring that hardware home. Totally believe it. Black Sunday, Leslie. That's right. Just thought I'd jump on here. Give a little Sunday flavor. Talk to the Raider Nation. See what's on your guys' mind. Another big news that came out is the stadium timeline. Looking at a completion of June 2020. So, looks like we got a few years to go. But the 2020 season will be in our new palace in the desert. Yes. The linebacker that was signed. Well, Michael, we've signed a bunch of linebackers, so I don't know if you've seen the list. Let me pull it up for you because I have it right here. There's a large list that was just posted of all the free agents that we had signed. The undrafted free agents. And there was 6 or 7 that we'd signed out of the gate, but we've signed a bunch more, which you know most of these guys aren't going to make. Absolutely, Isaac. I'm on record. Carr, MVP this year. I completely believe it. 100%. See if I can pull her up here, Michael. Yes. His name is Xavier Woodson. Xavier Woodson-Luster. He is a linebacker out of Arkansas State, Michael. Linebacker out of Arkansas State. He's the guy we signed. We signed 17 more undrafted free agents. We, I mean, all over the board, guys. Some safeties, some tight ends, bunch of wide receivers, guards, a lot of D-backs, another offensive tackle, Chauncey Briggs out of SMU, another cornerback, Chris Humes, out of another guy from Arkansas State. We went and grabbed 2 other safeties, Ahmad Thomas from Oklahoma and Anthony Siafi from Rutgers. So, I mean, you know, like I said, most of these guys, when you're picking up undrafted free agents, you're digging through scraps, you're picking through bones at the end of the draft. I mean, there's a reason these guys didn't make it on anybody else's draft board. Of course, there's always those diamonds in the rough that just flew in under the radar, small school guys, didn't get a lot of exposure, but as a whole, usually a lot of these guys aren't even going to make the team. Oh, Jay, we're looking money this year. Come on. You guys weren't with me this last week. On Wednesday, I did a full defensive breakdown of all the depth charts. Then came back on Thursday and we did a full offensive breakdown all the way through the depth charts. And then finished it out on Friday with the special teams, full breakdown of the special teams. And what we came up with, is me and the Raider Nation, we know we're good. We know we damn good for 2017. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got number 3 on the power rankings. Only teams sitting ahead of us are the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. So it's up to us. It's up to the Raiders. All on our back to prove that we're ready to take that next step. We took the big step last year, became a contender. Quarterbacks in the MVP talk all season. We're sitting atop the power rankings. We took that big step last season. But now we got to take that last one. We've proved we were in the discussion last year. This season, we need to prove we're freaking contenders. Ready to grasp for that ring. Ready to raise that trophy. That's what we need to prove this season. We need to prove we're the real deal. We're not flying under the radar anymore. Now we're going to walk into every game this season playing a team that knows we're a team to beat. And that's a whole different thing. When you start coming in and beating people when they know you're the team to beat every week, that's when you start to become a champion. That's when you start to get that swagger. And that's what we need this year. Man, we got it last year. Dug ourselves out of the fourth quarter repeatedly, over and over. But now, this is the season when we come out and we bring the fire right out of the gate. By the second half, we're stepping on your throat. We're putting it to bed in the start of the fourth quarter, into the third. That's the type of team we need to be. With a defense that holds it tight, keeps the score low, while our offense just lights it up. Gives us the ball back, gives us good field position, gets turnovers. That's the team we're on the verge of being this year. Not a team that just has a great record and makes the playoffs. We're a team that wins the division. Everybody's chasing us, looking up at us. We're in the number 1, number 2 seeds going into the playoffs. That's where I expect the Raiders to be this season. And I think after we broke it all down last week, I think everybody agrees. We're number 3 on the power rankings overall. Come out with number 14 on the defensive power rankings after the post-draft, which is phenomenal. Considering where we were defensively last year, if this is how the powers that be think we place already, that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. What's up, Gilbert? Raider Nation. Like seeing them thumbs. Share it up, fam. It's a Sunday night, Black Sunday special. Q&A with the Commish. What do you got, guys? What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Surely you got to be something you're thinking about, Raider related. I mean, the biggest news, Janikowski. We're going to release him. He's expected to earn $4.4 million this season. League average is about between 1 and 1.5. He was just under. He was 82.9. I did see Aldon Smith's Instagram, Michael. And I'm telling you, Aldon Smith's like the really cute, good-looking girlfriend that you used to have. She was nice. She had a great personality. She was good-looking. She was fun to hang around with. But you guys broke up. It's been a year now. We just got to let him go. Just got to let him go. And we've got such a good thing going. If you think about it, Michael, we got such a good thing going. We've got a young, hungry nucleus on defense. We got DC, who's as clean as you can be, leading the charge on offense. We've got a great core of players that all mesh well together and get along together. Do we want to bring somebody like that into that mix? That's been a bad influence, that's gotten in trouble a lot. Do you realize we played with him all season last season? We didn't need him. We did well. The team meshed without him. We went 12-4 without him. He's really never been on this team. I don't think we need him, guys. I don't think we need him. I agree he's a beast, Brandon. He's a beast. But is he going to fit in with the chemistry of what we have right now? Is he going to fit in the chemistry of what we have right now, Brandon? You got to remember, he wasn't there all year last year. He was barely there before that. He really hasn't ever been with this team. He's not been at the facility. He's not been hanging out with them. and we brought all these young guys in. We want Khalil. We want Bruce mentoring these guys. We want Rod Woodson, defensive coach, mentoring these guys. We want Ken Norton Jr. mentoring these guys. Do we really want Aldon Smith mentoring these young defensive guys that we just brought in this draft? I mean, we brought these guys in to fill the hole. Now we're going to go back to the old girlfriend? Nah, man. I say we let him go. You know, you're nice and all, but I got to let you go. It's been a year. I mean, basically, Aldon Smith's been retired as much as Beast Mode. True. True, Brandon. True. Beast Mode, I don't know. Beast Mode's got the work ethic, and he's a team guy, so I think he's going to be good in it. He's not the most polished fellow in the world, but I think he's a good mix because of his work ethic and what he brings and his championship pedigree. I think he's good for the offense. Because the offense is already set. There's a leader on offense, and he wears number 4. And I don't think anybody questions that. But defense is a different story. With the defense, we're trying to build that tight team, tight nucleus, like we have on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe, Chris. Maybe. But, man, guys, it ain't that hard to stay in the headlines, man. How do you repeatedly, or in the headlines of the paper, there are hundreds of NFL athletes that you never see in the paper, and this guy's repeatedly in it. You have to try to get in the paper. It really takes bad choices to repeatedly having your name in headlines in print and on TMZ. And I mean, seriously, I don't know. He's a very, very talented guy, very talented football player. I was happy when we signed him, but ever since we signed him, it's been more off again than on again. So I'm saying we don't need him. I'm saying with what we did in the draft, we already dressed not having Aldon Smith. And it's true, Brandon. This is true. It's true. Paparazzi will crawl up you as soon as they know you're a story. As soon as you know you're a story. But to that point, if you knew that you are suspended, the media is crawling up your butt, wouldn't you be extra careful and stay out of trouble? I mean, I would. If I knew my entire career of multi-million dollars a year was riding on it, I think I could probably take a cab. I could probably take a limo. I could probably figure out a way to keep myself out of the papers. It's not that hard to keep yourself out of the papers. It's just not. So, I think he's a young kid. I think he makes bad choices, and unfortunately, it's really costing him his career. So, I don't know what's up with Aldon Smith. I've heard he's going to be reinstated so many times now. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to think. So, it is what it is. So, exactly, Miguel. Exactly. Man, you wouldn't hear me nowhere. I'd be quiet as a mouse. I'd be like, Aldon Smith? Man, I hadn't heard about Aldon Smith in like 6 months. What's up with him? That's what you should be doing. Then when you walk in to see the commish, you'd be like, "Sup, commish? I've been quiet as a church mouse, man. You ain't heard nothing out of me. How about you sign this paper, let me back in?" You'd be like, "You know what, Aldon? You've done nothing. I have heard nothing about you. I've heard nothing about you." Go, yeah, I'll let you back in the league. You've been a model citizen since I suspended you. But no, he's gonna go in there and be like, "Aldon, you were on TMZ 2 weeks ago. A month before that, it just looks bad. It just looks bad, and I don't know. I think we got a tight nucleus, and I think we should keep what we got going. I think we had a great draft, great defensive draft. I think we need to build off of that. Keep it going. That's what I think. So, let's jump into another hot topic, guys. big hot topic that I talked about Friday on the show was the possible cutting or release of Sebastian Janikowski. We've got Giorgio Treviso on roster. So we don't have to go out and find his replacement. We already have him in camp. He's already on the team. So let me lay the facts out for you guys. And then you tell me what you think. He's due to make $4.4 million. League average is $1 to $1.5 million. So we can save upwards of $3 million by releasing him. He was an 82.9% field goal kicker last year. That ranked 20th in the league. 20th in the league. Now, Brandon says cut him. The facts are, with an 83% field goal kicker, you can find him in the league for $1 million and $1.5 million. Sebastian Janikowski missed 5 over 50 last year. That's why we always had him, because he was money. And he was money on the long ball. But he's not been money lately. Now, Miguel, I'm torn on this one. Because when you look at the money, you can see why they may want to release him. But I really want to see Seabass with this team and see him get a ring, man. He's been a Raider his whole career, like 17 years. And I'd like to see him. But here's another twist. Does the team go to Seabass and explain the situation to him and tell him, listen, Sebastian, we don't want to cut you. We want you to be on this team. We want you to get a ring. We want to roll to this take this last step with you. Will you take a pay cut? Down to match what... You think he's going to take... That's what I'm saying, Michael. Would he take a pay cut to free up some money because we know he's got to sign Carr for the big contract? And that's what we're trying to pull off. And that he understands that financially he's putting himself out. It's interesting. It's an interesting situation. He's been a Raider the whole time, Miguel. That's what I'm saying. This is a tough one. But you got to look at it. The NFL is a tough business. It's a tough business. And I mean, like I said Friday, even Tim Brown, the great Tim Brown, greatest Raider receiver of all time, my all-time favorite Raider, Mr. Timmy Brown, number 81, didn't finish his last season as a Raider because it was business. He came back, signed a one-day deal, and retired a Raider. But man, it was sickening and gut-wrenching to watch him play in a Buccaneers uniform for his last season. Sick to my stomach watching that. So, it comes down to business sometimes. My heart wants Seabass on this team this year. My heart wants Seabass on this team this year. But I could also see where if he does not agree to a pay cut, where they could show him the door. I agree, Miguel. He's our veteran. And there's an idea, Chris. You release him with already knowing that you're going to bring him back under a lesser contract. It's an interesting idea. I hope they would entertain something like that and not just release Sebastian. Like I said, man, this guy is a Raider. #1 draft pick. Al Davis took a kicker. Everybody thought he was crazy. From Florida State boy. He's been a Raider the whole time. Guy has nailed more big kicks for us than any kicker before in history. The guy is money. Money. But, yeah, that was rough, wasn't it, Miguel? That Tim Brown, man. I blocked that year from my memory. I tried to block that year from my memory. That was a rough one. To go to the team that we lost to in the Super Bowl, that was just painful. Painful. I understand why. It's because they were kind of Raiders East Coast at the time. They stole so many of the coaching staff and the front office and everybody came over with Grew that you understood why it just seemed like a natural place for Tim to go that year. But man, it was... How many missed kicks under 40 yards? Man, I'm not sure. That is a good question, Brandon. Let me see if I can find out. Let me see. You dropped some questions on me I didn't have the answer to. So let's see if we can find out. Of course. Of course. Seabass is huge, Miguel. He's the greatest Raider kicker of all time. King? That's hard to compare, though, Soul. That's hard to compare. King's getting paid all right, but the punter and the kicker they're so valuable, but at completely different things. You think Raider Red Hush? It breaks my heart too. He's a Raider through and through. Seabass. The thought of seeing him released, but I had to look into it. Had to look into the details of it when I heard this news come out Thursday, Friday of last week. And man, when you start looking at the details and the money side of it, the business side of it, it scares you a little bit. Because you can see where they could release him. I could see where it could happen. I'm hoping maybe a pay cut. I understand. The tough thing is, so we got Derek Carr and we got Gabe Jackson we're going to sign this season. And then we got Khalil Mack next season. We exercised the 5th on Khalil so we can deal with him next year. But just having to deal with Carr and Gabe Jackson this year, plus the draft class, we did release Leckler. Craig, I agree. And Shane Leckler was one of the greatest punters of all time. Pro Bowler. And, we had King in the wings waiting. So they cut him. It happens. It's business. Who are we going to get? Jimbo, we've already got the guy on Giorgio Treviso. He's already on the roster. He's already on the roster. 2.66 million, Michael says, for King. No, he can't do the kicking and the punting, Chris. No. Two completely different skill sets. We would go with Giorgio. If we're going to release Seabass, we would go with Giorgio at the kicker. And, but I don't know if he's Janikowski. We don't know, Jimbo. That's the question. But, like I'm saying, Seabass missed 5 over 50 last year. And that was his calling card. That's why we had that guy. That's what he hung his hat on, was banging the long balls for us. And man, he just ain't been doing it as much as he had previously. So, I've got Seabass's 2016 stats here. So let me break him down for you. He went 29 out of 35 with an 82.9% average. 20 to 29, 9 out of 9. Money. 30 to 39, 6 out of 6. Money. Now here's where it gets interesting, guys, when you really look at the numbers. Up until 40 yards, Sebastian Janikowski didn't miss a kick all season. 40 to 49, he missed 1. And over 50, he missed 5. Those are the kicks we've always had Seabass for. It's those long ones, the end of the game. Like the Tampa Bay game. When we had the chance to win it with a 50-yard field goal with no wind in Tampa, and he missed it. He missed a couple that game. That one was huge and sent us to overtime. Luckily, DC connects with Seth Roberts and gets the big play. We win in overtime. But that's a game our kicker almost cost us. Exactly, Craig. I was there watching that. And that was painful. See, the thing is, we all love Seabass for the Raider he is and the Raider he always has been. But you have to ask yourself, do we love the Seabass now? Or are we still madly in love with the Seabass from 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Sup, poet? Because sometimes we just become so fond of a player that we just can't imagine them leaving, even when we really don't want to see that maybe they're just not the player that they used to be. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one. When you see one of your favorites possibly on the block, it's a tough one. But like I said, hopefully they can restructure him, keep him around. But the fact that we have another kicker on roster right now just leads me to believe that maybe this is already going down the road of him being gone. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be more to come out. I'm sure we're going to hear more about this week. The rumors about it just came out at the end of last week. Michael, I think our offense is going to put up an insane amount of points. I think we're going to be the tops of the offense this season in the league. I agree. I don't think our kicking game is probably going to be as crucial as it has been in back seasons when we were a much worse team, when we needed every freaking point to even be in a game. How about a different holder? Richard said. It's true, man. And the Ray Finkel going on there a couple times. Ain't gonna lie. There was some Ray Finkel action. Richard's seen it. There was a little Ray Finkel. Had the laces in. Doesn't help. But Marquette is the holder. He's the holder. So, which I like. I like not having a quarterback as the holder. I like it's a punter. It keeps him involved, you know, in more aspect of the game. Gives him a good camaraderie with him and the kicker. I like having a set person that you know is probably not going to ever have a prone to get an injury. So punters don't get injured that much. So, typically, knock on wood. So I like that. I'm really happy that we brought the long snapper back, John Kondo, too. I was really excited to see that we brought him back. I mean, you don't think that sounds like an important position, but really it is. Especially, you know, when he's a big part to your punting game. Is putting that ball on point right in your punter's hands. Because we got a great punter, but if you don't have a good connection between him and the long snapper, that could go awry. And that could take away the effectiveness of having the great punter that we're paying $2+ million a year. So what's up, Raider Nation? Just stopping in on a Sunday night, a little Q&A. What else you guys got on your mind? What else you got on your mind? Let's throw it out there. I mean, those are pretty much the biggest things right now that have been spinning around the rumor mill. Like I said, they said the stadium's going to be done June of 2020. It's the finish for the stadium. We got the rumors of Seabass getting released. Looks like we may go with Giorgio. Giorgio boy. Travisio. May go with him this year. Who knows? Who knows? All day, every day, poet. There hasn't been a lot of news yet, Craig, out of the rookie camp. Not a lot of news yet. The biggest news I've heard is Obi is a freak. Obi is a freak, a physical freak. That's the probably the biggest news I've heard coming out of camp so far. For sure. Should he stay? Should he go? Hold on. Let's talk about Jano. That's what we've been talking about, Gabriel. We've been talking about that for the last 10 minutes. What do you think? Should he stay or should he go? He's up for $4.4 million this year. League average is 1 to 1.5. He's an 82.9% field goal kicker last year. All the kicks he missed were 40+. That's why we've always had him. We've got another kicker on roster. We don't even have to go find anybody. If we release him, we save probably upwards of $3 million. So, what do? That's all right. It's a Q&A, man. Do a little informal, flying without a net tonight. No script, just bouncing off you guys tonight. I just felt like talking some Raiders on Sunday night, so I just thought I'd jump in with you guys. For those of you who have never joined me before, it's the first time you're seeing me, I am here on Oakland Raiders football every single Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, right here, coast to coast. Get an hour with me, followed by an hour with the Raider Bear. Every Monday through Wednesday, Oakland Raiders football goes coast to coast. Dumbest plays in Raider history. Oh, Chris, I gotta write that one down. Dumbest plays in Raider history, because that one I'll have to put some time into that one. Dumbest plays in Raider history on a future episode. Now, Chris, I did do a couple of your lists already, but I'm gonna save those for this week's shows. But Chris Lentz, I did take a couple of your lists and I broke it down. I got my most hated players and my most hated coaches, top 10s for those. So I'm gonna go over. Thank you, Poet. So I'm gonna hit those this week. So I got my list of gold star ideas that Chris Lentz gave me of top 10s to break down. It was his idea to give you my top 10 Raiders of all time, which I broke down on the show this last week. Also had my top 10 most hated teams. Broke that down as well, which y'all know. Well, the Tuck rule, yes, Cisco. We all know the Tuck rule is on there. But dumbest plays in Raider history, that's got to be number one. I mean, well, I don't know. Because let's throw that out. That's interesting. Yes, Craig. There is, hold on. I know exactly who you're talking about. His name. Oh, I've went through so much draft stuff. You guys are picking my brains here. See, that's what I get for flying without a net. Having all my notes ready. Yes, there has been the running back we picked up. He's been causing a little buzz. He has been causing a little buzz. But as you guys know, Howie Long. Oh, absolutely. Howie Long. There we go, J-Chuck. Chuck, excuse me. Chuck. What's up, Bobby? Like I said, guys, I just thought I'd jump on with you guys tonight. It was Sunday night. I noticed that we didn't have anybody filling in the 7 o'clock Pacific slot tonight, so I was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing going on, man. I feel like talking some football with the Raider Nation. I'm just going to jump on, do a little craziest catches in Raider history. Look at Chris. This dude's got some ideas. Greatest catches. See, I got to write these down. These are good. Greatest catches in Raider history. Now, when you're talking about dumbest plays, you got the immaculate reception for one. I mean, that's just, if you're a Raider fan, that's just a dumb play, man. It was a legal play at the time. Dumb play. So, you got that one. That's a dumb play. You know, there's the Tuck rule, obviously. The dumbest play. Oh, one of the guys, the Raiders are keeping on the down low. I know who you're talking about, Craig. Let's see if I can grab his name. I know exactly who you're talking about, but my God, I have this gigantic draft pile that I went through with you guys all the last week. This thing is enormous. We have went through so many players. So Elijah Hood is the North Carolina running back. There it is. Michael throws it out there. Elijah Hood was the guy I was thinking about. Now Elijah Hood, they're thinking... I've heard a couple different things on Elijah Hood. Now, I've heard that they thought... Because we've only really got one fullback on roster, and that's Olawale. Yes, the kid from Washington. Chuck. Our Arm Point Resource Service Chuck. He's always got the flavor. But sticking with Hood, though, I heard two interesting things on Hood. I heard possibility of him beefing up a little bit and coming in behind Olawale. And I've also heard of him, they want him to slim down a little bit and compete more running back. So I guess that depends on which position they think he's better before they push him a little bit. Thank you. Chuck's always got the resources at the tip of his fingers there. So like I said, I'm coming in without a net. I didn't decide I was going to come on until about 15 minutes before Saturday. So I was just like, nobody else is going to come on. I'll jump on. We can do a little Q&A. Craziest injury ever in Raider history. Well, one of the most painful ones that comes to mind when you just say that, Chris, is Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson getting tackled from behind and going down funny on that hit by the Bengals. I was watching that game when it happened. And that was... that's one of the craziest ones. To see a guy that's that much of a physical specimen just getting taken down so simple, it makes you realize that even as big and as strong as these guys are, that everybody's human. Because if you can take down Bo Jackson. Napoleon McCallum. Oh, there's a name from the past. I was just watching a highlight game of, was it last night or the day before, when Napoleon McCallum it was a playoff game. The last playoff win. It was the last playoff win by the LA Raiders, but Napoleon McCallum was punching it in. He was good there for a few years. Napoleon Kaufman's knee, yes, that was bro. He's a senator now, isn't he? Didn't he just get? I believe he just got voted in as a senator, Mr. Kaufman. Undrafted free agents do get paid. Somewhat. Yes. They do have to sign a contract. Everybody has to sign a contract. But if they get released, I mean, they're pretty... They've got to make the team, basically. They're going to get paid for a little while, but they got to make the team. Yeah, it was bad, Gabriel. Oh, injuries. There's been so many bad injuries that end guys' careers. What about Rich Gannon? You know... Gannon got the injury, and he had to retire basically because he got injury. You know, so there's, the McCallum it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, Chuck. I remember that one. He was such a talented running back, too. God, we've had some talented guys we've lost over the years due to some brutal injuries. Some talented guys. You really got to stop and think about it. Start thinking about the guys that could have been something, just didn't end up. Yeah, I mean, they got to make the team before they get paid. I mean, they're getting paid something, Chuck, but they're not, they got to make the team. You make the team, well, then they can start talking some big money. Right now, yeah, they're making okay money, but that money ain't gonna be around for long if they don't make the team. I remember they come up with these huge rosters into week 1 of the preseason. Then they just keep cutting it down to get to that final 53-man roster. So, I mean, you look at the depth charts and, you know, yeah, that's great. We signed all these 17 undrafted free agents, but only a handful of these guys are going to make the team, and a handful of these guys might make a practice squad, and that's it. The rest of these guys end up arena football, you know, CFL, if they're lucky, playing in Europe, a Mexico League or something. I mean, if you don't make a team, it's not but a year or two before everybody forgets about you. It's not easy to stay relevant and stay with a chance to be in the NFL. It's not. That's why when these guys make a camp, man, they got to play with everything they got. That's why it's so hard for me when you got guys like Alden Smith and guys like that just can't stay out of trouble. When you have everything. There's kids out there that would give anything to be in the position he's in, and would totally walk the straight line and do whatever they had to do. And then you got guys like him that, yes, I do remember him, Craig. Do remember him. Do you remember Derek Gibson? The late Derek Gibson. Swell. For the Raider was gone before his prime. Tallest to the shortest Raider in Raider history that was drafted first to the Raiders. Now you're just getting crazy, Chris. You just now you're throwing some curveballs. It's some sinking curves. Tallest to shortest player in Raider history that was drafted first to the Raiders. Oh, man. That's crazy. This doesn't... Okay. Dumbest place. Doesn't make the list just a few years ago. Oh, yeah, that was stupid, man. Oh, that was stupid. I remember that. Yeah, that was dumb. That was so dumb. It's like, man, we're just trying to win a game and you're going to be a knucklehead? We're just trying to put a W on the board. You going to be a knucklehead? Yeah, I remember that. That was something else. So, man, Soul, this is what happens when you don't plan on going on the air tonight. And I walk out to the kitchen and I'm like, you know what, there's nobody going on at 7. Tell the wife, I'm going to go on, I'm going to do a little Q&A with the Raider Nation. I opened the fridge and I was like, oh my God, there's no tall boys in here. So where's my tall boy? She's like, well, we were going to grab him tomorrow, so you had him for the week. I'm like, no tall boy? I've already put a promo on that says I'm going on. How can I go on with no tall boy? So, to go with the Raider Tumbler. I said I'm flying without a net, Saul. It's totally. See, that's how you can tell this was a totally impromptu show. Because I didn't even have no tall boy ready to go. That's how you know. If I ain't got no tall boy, then you know. Thank you, Craig. But like I said, I just wanted to jump on with you guys tonight. I saw there was no Raider insight, no flavor going on. We got JD Enigma. I believe he's going live at 8. He's going to be on One Nation Live, and then he's going to be over on Oakland Raiders football right after that. So, stop by, give him some love. Like every weeknight, I'll be back here tomorrow night, and I'll be digging in deep to all the news, everything that's going on. I'll have some, better have Prime on tomorrow night. I hadn't heard talk to Prime. Prime wasn't with me on Wednesday. Typically on Monday and Wednesday, we got Goes to the Post with Prime and the Commish. We break down all the hot league news, like only we can do, with that little Raiders flair on it. And should have that for tomorrow, plus touch on all the other hot Raiders news. That's every single weeknight, 7 o'clock for a solid hour, bringing the fire with the Commish on Raider Reaction. Then followed up by another hour with the infamous Raider Bear at 8 o'clock. So you got 2 hours. One starting on the East Coast, second hour on the West Coast. Coast to coast. Every weeknight with Oakland Raider football. Right here. So, tune in. Like. Share. Come talk to me. Let's talk some silver and black. So, what else you guys got? I got a few more minutes with you. I can burn another 15 minutes with you and then jump off here and so y'all can catch some JD Enigma flavor. But, what's up? What else you guys got going on? What are the questions you got? What else you want to talk about? I got my, I got the list here that I ran through the other day of my top 10 favorite Raiders of all time. I don't know if we've got anybody on that wasn't on with me when we went over that. I could run through that again. It was kind of interesting. My top 10 all-time favorite, Commish's top 10 favorite Raiders of all time. I'll just give you a little quick rundown of it. My number 10, don't know if you remember this gentleman. I've always been a big defensive fan. And when I was growing up, he was in my era. And number 36, Terry McDaniel, T-Mac, was the shutdown corner in my era of growing up with the Raiders. So, how much do I think? Okay, here we go. We got some more questions coming in. Jimbo, how much do you think Cooper will improve this season? I think Cooper will be much improved this season, mostly in the drop category. I do not believe we're going to see as many drops as we did out of Amari Cooper this last season. Because do you guys realize how many drops we had last season? Seth Roberts dropped a lot, Crabtree dropped a lot, Cooper dropped a lot. I mean, and almost every time it seemed like they were dropping them, they were in for touchdowns and they were for first downs. Repeatedly. So, and it wasn't because Derek Carr wasn't dealing the ball where he needed to deal it. They were just straight up dropping them. So, just think, you take those drops away, how much better of a season we had last year than we did. So, what those guys really need to do, and which I really hope, and I think Coop is going to do this year, is cut down on the amount of drops. The heaviest Raider drafted. Well, Chris, I will have to find out. Heaviest player drafted. And we'll have to find the smallest as well. Taking notes, see? Taking notes. See, that's why you fly without a net, man. You get your pen and your paper out. Take notes from the nation. You're giving me good ideas. Because I got an hour to fill with you guys every night. Normally, I like to come in here all prepped, ready to go, and bring the fire for an hour. Give you guys a good show. If you guys are going to stop in and you're going to spend some time with me, I like to make sure that I'm on point and I know that I'm bringing you the best that I can bring you every night, every weeknight. So, I appreciate you jumping on with me a little informal tonight. Just kicking it around. Talk some football. Roberts. I like Roberts. Gabriel, do you realize, here's the crazy stat. We are 9-0 when Seth Roberts catches a touchdown. Oh, Craig, now why you got to bring up bad things like Jamarcus Russell? Why you got to bring up things like that? We don't want to talk about the big deuce. Come on now. We don't want to talk about him. Well, he's a boat anchor. That guy was a boat anchor. We drug around for far too long. I don't know if Sharp's the heaviest. I'm curious, Chuck. That's a good question. I got to look into that. I'm gonna Google that up tomorrow. See if I can do some research and see if I can find those little gems, those little tidbits out. Youngest is another good one, Richard. Youngest is another good one. I know the purple drink. He was hooked on the purple drink. That was his problem. He was hooked on the purple drinks and the extra pancakes with syrup. That's what that dude was hooked on. Kaylee, I don't know. We've been talking a lot about Janikowski tonight. We don't know. It's up in the air. They're going to cut him. They're going to give him a pay cut. Negotiate that. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, Kaylee. I don't think anybody in the Raider Nation wants to see Sebastian go, but sometimes it comes down to business. Sometimes it comes down to money. And, you know, it is what it is. We're going to wait and see. I think we're really going to hear some news this week on it, though. I think we're going to hear news this week. I don't think it's something that's going to linger around. I think they'll make that deal because they're currently the scissor. You like that purple drink? I'm telling you, purple drink and extra flapjacks and syrup for that dude, man, because that dude got, man, that kid had so much talent, man, so much talent. And then comes and had no damn work ethic. He got that check, got fat paid, and he was done. It was so unfortunate, man, to just watch these kids just piss this talent away. Like guys like me and you, Chuck, me and you, Chris, we would give our right arm to have half the talent these guys have, to be able to play a game and get paid to play a game as a career. And to see these guys pissed away, like Johnny Manziel's and the Jamarcus Russells and the guys that come in and just don't put forth the effort, just piss away the talent. Talent that most of us would kill to have. Jimbo, I'm torn on that one. and really on how I feel, is I think we should just let Aldon Smith go. Just give up on that altogether. I think we've got a good core going. We drafted well. We're building the defense. And we've got a clean, young nucleus going. He hasn't been on the team for well over a year. He's not really part of the team. But I just think he might not mesh well. He might be a bad influence. I don't know. To have around all these young kids. He can't stay out of trouble. He can't stay out of trouble. He hasn't been, he wasn't even, Aldon Smith was not part of the team last year. At all. Guys, we went 12-4. We went 12-4. We were going to go 13-3 before Carr got hurt. And he wasn't even part of the team. Do we really need him? Who was the first pick by Al Davis? Well, Michael, you can't just hang that out there and not let us know. I don't know off the top of my head. I bet you that's in my Raiders trivia book. But I got an extensive Raiders trivia book. I should bust that out and throw some crazy ones out there to you guys. That's not a terrible bad idea. Will we get past the first round of the playoffs? Well, no. I believe we're going to have a bye in the first round of the playoffs. So, yes, we will get past the first round. Will we get past the first game? That's a better question. But I'm on record as we're going to be in the Super Bowl. Derek Carr's going to win the MVP, and he's going to lead us to the Super Bowl this year. I'm a firm believer in that. I believe this kid has it. And he is going to take us there. I firmly believe that. He has it. The kid is as clean as you can be. He's got no scandals. Doesn't do anything wrong. You can't dig up dirt on Derek Carr. Period. Gene Upshaw. Gene Upshaw was the first one drafted? Well, that's a pretty damn good one. So the first guy Al Davis ever drafted is one of the greatest Raiders of all time. Well, then that's pretty good. That's a pretty good start, don't you think, Michael? Nick, that's a tough one. You know, another rumor that I've heard, since you brought that up, Nick, is that there's a possibility that Obi may steal the starting spot from 34-year-old Reggie Nelson. That's interesting. I like Reggie. I'm a big Reggie Nelson fan. He's a Pro Bowler, the Predator man back there flying around with the dreads. I love Reggie Nelson. Thought he was a great pickup when he came over. But he's a safety. He's 34 this year. So, you know, and I'm on the record as saying I think they may be sliding Obi into a hybrid corner position and use him at some corner too. So Reggie Nelson's going to be there through this year for sure. And with all these different guys, how many Raiders played two different sports besides Bo Jackson? That's a good one too. Look at this. Two sport besides Bo Jackson. Man. Give me some great topics for future shows. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You think he could get cut this year, Chuck? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're going to keep him around. We were too bad at defensive back as a whole that I don't think we'll cut any of our talent at defensive back. I think we're going to stay as deep as we can at that position going in to the season. I think we're going to carry... I don't see Reggie Nelson getting cut. He's coming off a Pro Bowl year. I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to keep him around. I think we're going to want to stay deep at defensive back coming into the season. Deion Sanders did. He played two sports. I hate Deion. Here's a spoiler. Deion may just be on my list of top 10 most hated players by the Commish. Spoiler alert. I hate Deion Sanders. I've always hated Deion Sanders. I can't stand listening to his mouth on the pregame shows. I hate that guy. Every ounce of my being. He's such a dick. I can't stand him. Oh, such a cocky guy, man. Oh, is there anybody less gracious in the world than Deion Sanders? I don't think Bo was the first. I think Bo was the first to be as good at it. It was kind of a gift, Chuck. I agree, it was kind of a gift. But, you know, Pro Bowl is still Pro Bowl. Still sounds good on your resume. So, I mean, come on. He played solid last year. I didn't think our safety position, you know, he was hung out a lot back there because he didn't have Joseph to help him a lot of the season because Joseph got banged up. The corners were hanging him out there on an island all day long. So, I mean, it's not like he had the great help. And I thought Reggie Nelson did well under fire last year. And I think he deserves another shot. So, well, guys, that's about it for me tonight. I appreciate all the good ideas, all the feedback, all the questions. Like I said, this isn't my normal show. Normal shows every Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock to 8 Pacific, 10 to 11 Eastern. And I bring the fire every weeknight. Raider Reaction with the Commish. So make sure you turn in tomorrow night. Appreciate you stopping in. A little informal Black Sunday special. Just to pop in, a little Q&A. Talk some silver and black. Appreciate you guys stopping in with me. You guys had some good topics. Kept it going. Kept it flowing. To repeat, man. Good night, Gabriel. Good night, Raider Nation. Like I said, check me tomorrow. Check me tomorrow. Thank you, Michael. Thank you all for joining me. Stop in tomorrow. I'm going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern, followed by a solid hour of the Raider Bear. You know, coast to coast on Oakland Raider football. Every weeknight. Thank you for joining me. Have a good rest of your weekend. What's left of it anyway. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.